Hey, friends. Yes, I am America's coolest conservative. So glad to be talking at you again. And that's what I do. I talk at you. I don't talk to you. I talk at you. Actually, I'm just saying something. If you ever try that with your wife during an argument, that would be fun. Just to see what happens. Okay, so here's what we're talking about today. My wife and I finished. We were a couple of days behind, but we finished the White Lotus season 3 of White Lotus. I know, biggest show out right now. Everybody's talking about it. It's so great. Okay, I think the seasons have gotten they've declined since the first season. The first season was great. And you know why? Because the first season had comedy in it. If you don't know what the show is about, it's about these rich people who go off to these just elaborate resorts. The first year was in Hawaii. The second season was Italy. The third season was in Thailand. And it's beautiful luxury at every turn. It's just wonderful. But they've all got these issues going on, and there's usually some sort of a crime to cover up. So the first season was a great mix of comedy and thriller, mystery. Well, this season has just gone, I think, overboard. Now, let me tell you why. You guys, what does that have to do with, being a conservative podcaster or whatnot? It's because I talk about not just the ins and outs of the politics. I talk about the culture and the way that liberalism, leftism, Marxism has grabbed our American culture by the gonads and just tried to drag us completely down. And not all of it, but a lot of it can be illustrated in this White Lotus. All right. So we know, I'm not telling you anything, groundbreaking or whatnot, that Hollywood is made up of a bunch of derelicts, a bunch of losers in life, except for their one talent that has made them rich and famous. Now, what happens when someone gets rich and famous and they get praise poured upon them all over the place? Athletes are like this too, but with Hollywood celebrities, actors, whatnot, they get this praise, and then they start to believe that because they're successful as an actor and have made a lot of money as an actor, that they are intelligent in other areas, and that the whole world, the whole country should listen to them on how things need to be done. But if you pull away the on-screen, the millions that people see in public living these, lavish lifestyles and all, you would probably see a mess. Adults living their lives in a mess. So I try to tell young people all the time, don't fall in to this whole celebrity thing and making your decisions based on what a stupid celebrity does. All right. So I'm going to be quick about this. I know you're saying too late, but here's what happened. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what goes on in this season of White Lotus, stop right now, turn it off, scroll to something else, do whatever. I'm going to count to 3. If you're still here after 3, then it's your fault if something gets told that you don't want to hear. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, there is a scene that everybody's talking about, or a couple of episodes that everybody's talking about being so shocking. And it was. I'll give them credit. It was. But let's just focus on one of them. There's this family from North Carolina on this trip. And they are, are portrayed as being the typical rich Southern family. The parents and the kids all go to Duke, So very well to do. Now there are two sons and one daughter. One of the sons is out of college and he works within the family business. They're financial advisors. The other son is the youngest of the three kids. He's in high school. Okay? So they hook up with these other people to go out on a party on this yacht that the neighbor up the hill where he lives, he owns this yacht. It's an old guy married to a much, much younger woman, or with a much younger. I don't even know if they're married. So she takes the yacht out with these other young people for a party for the night. And while they're on the yacht, she starts telling the other woman on the boat how she wants to have sex with the younger brother, the one that's in high school. And she goes through this, this big explanation about when they're innocent and you can see their heart pounding and you're guiding them through the process, and how that just turns her on. So there is a scene where she is in the bed with the younger brother and they're making the relations. And the older brother, because they've taken drugs on the street of this festival, so they're out of their minds. So the older brother is on the other side of the bed, and the younger brother, while making relations with the woman, reaches over and, let's say, he satisfies his brother with his hand. Okay? So while he is making the relations with this much older woman who is turned on by the fact that he's so young and innocent, he is playing with his brother. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The man who writes and directs all of these episodes, he may be the creator of this whole series. His name is Mark White. And I could tell from interviews and all with the cast how they just fawn all over him. They just, and Mark this, and I was so honored that Mark wanted me to do this. And of course, Mark is great. Mark. Now, when celebrities are doing that, especially actors, when they're doing that about somebody, then you just, as a normal person, have to think, okay, well, this guy must be a complete weirdo. Or there's something wrong with him. Like Harvey Weinstein. They used to do that with Harvey Weinstein. So I'm here to tell you that I get art. I get it. But it takes, in my opinion, a depraved mind, a disturbed, just complete, perverted mind to come up with that, even to think of that scenario, and then love it so much when you thought about it that you want to make that one of the focal points of this entire show. Now, did it work? Yeah, everybody's talking about it. Record numbers of people watched it. But when you step back and take a look at it in the real world, it takes a weirdo to come up with that to put in the show. So all of the praise, everything that they throw upon him, I thought about that before the show even aired episode 1. Something's got to be off with this guy. Now, I did a little research, and I believe it said in my research that he has a life partner that's a man, but that he's an open bisexual. So that must mean that he's thinking about sex twice as much as somebody who is not bisexual, right? So it's got to be coming at him nonstop. Just, oh, there's a hot guy. Oh, there's a hot chick. Oh, there. Oh, look at that. Look, I want him. No. I want her. No, I want them both. I want him. I want him. Okay. That's one thing. But to create a scene of incest that played out in that manner, I cannot imagine how freakishly weird that guy has to be. And these are the liberal minds, the leftist minds that so many young people look to for guidance. We got to stop that. We got to start teaching our children to not follow in the footsteps of these actors. Take them for what they are. They're performers. Just like when you leave the circus, you don't go and ask the tumblers and the clowns how you ought to vote. Same thing. It's the same exact thing. They're just clowns that make a lot more money, and they have better stages and surroundings. Yes, you heard it here first. Celebrities are no different than circus clowns.